You are very special.
Hi everyone. I am so grateful to be here. I'm with beautiful Jen. She's going to introduce herself, maybe saying a little bit about you, what your passions are, and why you feel like you're here. And then we'll dive into all the things. There's no specific topic. What I really feel like, and this was going back to one of your questions to me, is like, why am I doing this? Mm-hmm. I think the world, and this is not, I hate to say podcast because it's more so getting the clips, because that's how I found my way into this, was like the little tidbits of knowledge that I've heard along the way, that then when I was faced with like life circumstances, it then made me put all of that knowledge together.
Of course.
So I feel like it's not so much, hey, listen to this podcast for an hour. It's like one of these clips that is 20 seconds, 15 seconds might shift someone's mindset, and that will be the nugget that shapes their world. So that's the goal.
You want to be the crumb.
Yeah, the crumb. And that's the whole movement of this. And I think everyone has a story. It's so washed out and whatever, but someone's crumbs could be resonate with someone in such an impactful way that you can never predict and even or measure after the fact. So
Think of planting a seed.
yes. Yeah, like starting
we
with
can
a tree.
And you can't force holistic. You have to find your own way there.
Yeah. So how did you, well, start with maybe your full name. Like we're in New Jersey, we're in Shrewsbury.
Yes, we're in Shrewsbury, New Jersey. My name is Jen. Hi, I'm with my beautiful Taylor.
Yeah.
I guess we're here to talk about the bracelets, holistic, or just in general.
I think really, I would love holistic in general, and then we can kind of narrow down into this invisible blueprint, energy frequencies, and kind of how you came into the world, what you first thought of it, because I don't know how you first thought of it, but I was like, this is fucking crazy.
I came from a completely different angle than you.
Yeah.
This is going to sound crazy. Don't everybody freak out. But I have what you would call witchcraft around me from when I was younger.
Interesting.
And when people hear that, what's the first thing people think?
Oh, yeah, you're
Negative.
Yeah.
Always.
You're going to Salem witch trials of
Of
Massachusetts
course.
in the 1700s.
And you're burying chickens, and that's so far from the truth.
Yes. Wait, so how did you? Okay, so you knew about witchcraft then. You were around this
Very
world
long
very
time ago.
Yeah, you were like young exposed to this.
Yes.
I was exposed to it more on I had paranormal experiences. I need to put an explanation to this. So go into how you then entered this realm at a young age, and then understanding the witchcraft aspect of what happened.
My mother gave us a story when I was young, and when I mean young, I was around about 7, 8 years old. She was in Puerto Rico, and she told us that when she was a little girl, she believed she saw some type of being fly over her house and literally left feces, bright yellow feces outside the front door. And we heard this story, and very much like you and Mama Yoga, I was like, Mom, you're nuts.
Yeah.
No such
Yeah,
thing.
what is going on?
Because when you hear things like this, you're trained to believe they're not real, or that side of the world doesn't exist. And that's so far from the truth. So from there, kind of snowballed little by little into just hearing different stories, and like you said, paranormal things that you just think about and you go, well, that's not real. See, I'm very mechanical and logical, so I need an explanation. If you tell me you see a shadow moving across, how, why, what's the temperature? I need the mechanics of it.
What is going on?
Yeah, I need
what
that
exactly is
much. I've been called Spock a lot because of the fact that I need to wrap my head around something before I can,
Yeah, fully immerse yourself.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And when it comes to, I don't know what most people's metaphysical title would be for that arena, but when it comes to energy and beings and light, there's so much, as we previously said, that we don't know, but you have to believe that it's not just us. You have to believe that when you have a gut feeling, things talk to you. Your body talks to you. The world will talk to you. I don't know if you're a believer in God. I am.
Yes, for sure.
He talks to me all the time.
Yes. That's actually how I would say immerse myself more into the whole. I grew up. I went to an all-girls Catholic high school,
Nice.
and then I flipped sneakers to the all boys. So you can see how I was calling my mother-in-law yoga bully. I was like,
100%.
Jim, mother-in-law, Jim, mother. Like to my then boyfriend, I was like, your mom's fucking crazy. Like, gotta get her out of here. But then it fell into holisticness because there was there's obviously this higher being. Some call it God, some call it source.
Everyone has a
like
different
force.
name for it.
Yes, but there's an awareness that there's something more.
I don't think anybody would deny, unless you were extremely closed-minded, that there is something much more powerful and deep than we can. I can't wake up every morning, work 70 to 80 hours every 6 days, and not believe that I'm being guided to certain people for a reason. I have had too many, what most people would put coincidences together. If there's 7 or 8 in a row, like the Holy Order, it's not a coincidence anymore.
I did a whole article on, I don't believe in coincidences, I think it's
Agreed.
divine orchestration.
Agreed.
And I only came to that through my now understanding-ish of like the physics, quantum entanglement. There's just, once you understand that, then there is just no such thing according to the scientific law. And that, sure, debate that. If you want to debate that, debate the scientific law. Don't debate me. I'm just going off of like the dictionary, kind of moving from there. You can't really deny what you're going off. There's something here. So you initially like came into your mom's stories as like dismissive, but then it came
very
to,
much so.
like a crux. What was like the crux of your?
I think that came more as I was a full-grown adult, because I almost suppressed a lot of my own, and this is going to come across kind of jaded if some people are hearing this. You hear an instinct. A mother will know this happened to me. Ask my husband this crazy story. 3 days ago, my dog was having an issue with chewing on his paw, and he came to drop me off at work, and I'm like, Bear's wet. His paw's soaking wet. I need you to go home. And we've been together long enough to know if I say that, he's hauling butt to go home. And sure enough, he ripped his cast off. He was licking it to death where blood was everywhere. And he goes, you called it. And I'm like, I felt it. My baby was bleeding. And he was home. And I knew he was wet. It does. It does. Every time. Every time. And it's a mother's instinct.
Yeah.
And my people might say that's a dog. It's a mother's instinct.
You know what's interesting is it keeps, like something keeps pulling me to. That's the strength of the entanglement.
Yeah.
And that's why it's just those lines of communication are so strong and powerful and so deep that's why it's such a clear, communication, I guess, between, especially mothers and their children, but really anything.
Well, most, whether it's a dog, a child, whatever it is, a niece, a grandson, when you care and love something, someone, even family, mothers, brothers, sisters, I have a feeling, and back to your question, it took me to be a full-grown adult. I suppressed a lot of my own gifts because I thought that was a weird world.
Yes.
The word metaphysical used to be like, oh, that's garbage.
Yeah.
And, carrying around crystals, that's weird.
Yeah.
And you get that.
Yes.
But once, like you said, you got into knowing that, you know what you think you know, you know nothing.
Yeah. What a freaking shock. It's literally a shock to the system. Oh, there was a shock like that.
100%.
It's almost like you go and you're like, what do I actually know? Like, what have I been taught and why? What? There's so many questions.
Yeah.
It's really scary actually, because you then are confronted with what the fuck have I just learned over the past X?
Mine took my medical condition. I don't know how much you want to know about that.
No, please, I want to dive into all the things you're willing to.
The reason why I'm expressing this to anyone who's listening is I've been told I was given 2 weeks to live. Not that long ago, just a few years ago. And I still came to work and everybody was freaking out, and you had no choice, but when you're pinned against the wall with either you believe or you die, you start to believe a lot more, and then you start to read and you start to pray, which was my godsend. I stopped praying for decades. And it took a doctor looking at me going, if your heart fails one more time, you're not coming back.
Wow.
I didn't like that response. Sorry, I get emotional in my arms.
No. You should. That's
I really didn't like that response, and you'll get to know me, Taylor. I'm very headstrong, so if you tell me I can't, what's the first thing I'm going to do?
Yeah, figure out a fucking way.
I am going to find a way to fight this and live.
Yeah.
And it's very emotional for me because it took me nearly dying for God to bring me back, to remind me that, hey, it's not over. You still have a lot to do here. Now that you're on our side of the fence again, it's time. And now I pass on.
What was that? What was that experience? When you your face, obviously, you knew you stepped away from like a
Oh,
path
for a long
that,
time.
you know,
Yes, absolutely.
path. The going back on the path was this like getting confronted with like, okay, this is it. Why did you feel like that was the way, like the path?
I didn't. It was more like
Wow.
God came to me, and this was.
So what happened, if you don't mind?
You can ask me
Yeah.
anything.
What like exactly like happened? So you were diagnosed.
So in 2018, I had emergency surgery, my appendix.
Healthy until then?
Absolutely. Until
Oh,
my
shit.
40th birthday, which is the craziest thing. I never had surgeries and
Yeah.
no, none of that. And then from my 40th birthday,
Holy shit.
that month no less, I had, to date right now, I've had 10 surgeries. Are you ready for that? In 6 years. And all of them but one were to save my life. You tell me you don't believe in God after that.
Nine
You tell me you're
surgeries
not supposed to
to
be
save
here.
your life.
Correct. Correct. And every time I was given another choice, I would go back to being stubborn. And it took a doctor to tell
Holy
me,
shit.
hey, you're not going to be here anymore. And I don't know if I was just in denial or terrified of the outcome. But until a doctor looked me in the face and said, hey, Jen, your heart's not going to make it much longer.
Oh.
Then God I remember as clear as day. It was a Saturday morning, and I was contemplating literally dying. I signed a DNR. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to do this. And it's almost like, you know when a dad reprimands you?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but him not standing there. That's how it's like, how ungrateful are you that you're ready to say goodbye, and I have so much more left for you to do. So for me, it was more finding my way back out of desperation. I really didn't want to die. I was more giving up. And God said, no, not you. And, a couple of prayers, family and friends were a huge part of that.
Yeah.
I needed them.
What was
More than
your
ever.
mindset? Like, there was a shift.
Mhm.
Like, you've heard him, throughout your life. The shift was like out of desperation of like.
It was sheer desperation, because even though I did sign the DNR and I didn't want to fight anymore for myself, my husband would.
The
Just every doctor's visit, every imaging,
Everything.
every hospital. I've been flown to different hospitals. I've had surgery in all the hospitals around here. I've had every doctor look at me and say, I have a 6-page letter from Dr. White from UPenn, who was pleading with every doctor around and asking, please help me save her.
What was
Dr. White.
No, what was going on?
Oh, my heart. It just wouldn't.
So after the appendix.
Then after my appendix was my adrenal gland. After my adrenal gland, that very week was my pheochromocytoma, which is a very rare tumor.
What?
Then I'm lucky.
Where is that? I'm sorry. Where is that?
It sits on your adrenal gland. So I don't have an appendix, a gallbladder, an adrenal gland, a tumor. I've been cut open enough times up here. I had to go to Sloan because then I had to get a full hysterectomy because that was a problem. So it was all.
Right then.
Yeah. And it wasn't like one thing, it was heart the whole way. It was God kept checking these boxes, and I'm like, I'm okay. Until one day I wasn't okay. And he was like, are you done? Because we have work to do. And I was like, but.
Let me just keep it on.
I'm very defiant
Yeah.
until the last day, and I was projectile vomiting blood, and I got rushed. It was within that 2-week period of my lifespan, and they rushed me to Riverview. And it was during COVID, so of course they were arguing that my husband didn't come in, and they're trying to save my life. And I had surgery at Riverview to take out my gallbladder, because there was a sliver on my gallbladder, and every time bile would go to my heart, it would stop my heart. So they found that out. It's a lot of fun. You can't go through what I've been through and not think about it. You can't. There's no way.
Yeah, there's just something.
You can't. And I tried to quit. Trust me. There's days I woke up and I said, I don't want to do this
Yeah,
anymore.
this is not.
This life is not meant to wake up every day and go to another doctor and another surgery, and they still couldn't solve it. And I'm still not solved, which is the greatest part, but I live, which is so odd.
Yeah, it's just that continuous keeping you in the.
You have to stay with hope. Have to. You absolutely have to, or you won't make it.
Yeah, and the only thing you were choosing to check out. And then
I
you dialed
chose.
it back.
As my husband, I chose to one day look at him and go, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I'm tired of going to doctors. I'm tired of it.
Now, were you holistic then?
This was where I just started dabbling in it.
Okay. So
This
what
was
was your
more-
like life before then? Before those moments? Like the Jenn.
That person was what, if you look me up online, was called QB.
QB.
Correct. I was named the Queen Beast because of my
Oh,
powerlifting
shit.
days.
Cool.
Yeah, I could back pull 800 pounds. I could leg press
What the
980 pounds. I could literally take.
What got you into that, like powerlifting?
Oh, since I was young, I learned that I was ridiculously strong for no reason. To this day, there's no
I
rhyme
feel
or
safe
reason
now.
for me.
I feel super safe. Come on in here, guys.
Oh please, no one
Yeah.
worries about me in that aspect. No one, even my parents. They're like dark alley
Yes,
center.
you're-
Like it's
yeah, I know,
fine.
like, come on, come on.
But to have that overconfidence that you don't need God because you're strong puts you in a very interesting place. It
Can you
does.
dive into that?
Sure. When you are one of the most well-known powerlifters because you're a female, and before you there wasn't very many females.
Yeah, and you're in a
doing that.
man's world.
Yeah, and there came a lot of abuse. That came a lot of stress. But as you heard a couple of minutes ago, when someone tells you you can't do something, I am all in.
It's almost like you're going harder into it.
100%.
You're like, wait, what did you just say? Like, time out. Makes you snap around.
I am defiant I just am.
By trade.
I just am.
Growing, did you have siblings?
I have one sibling, a brother, and he's older, but he was never into any of that
Anything
stuff.
like this? Yeah, you were like your own guiding light.
My husband named something. We have a company outside of here that's for suicide. Well, my husband does therapy, so it's
Wow, that's
suicide
incredible.
for cops. And on the title for under my name is, he always says, people find you, and for me, I'm a beacon for the broken. When people come and find me, he gave me that. Lou just came up with that one day, and he goes, "You are a beacon for the broken," because I was once broken. And he says, "You were once broken." I'm like, "No, I'm still broken.
Yeah, no.
Just not as bad.
Yeah.
I still
I'm
have
on
my
my
own
own
path.
path.
I
Yeah.
am on my
That's-
own path, but
yeah.
I've done enough and been through enough that if someone's having a bad day or thinks their scenario is dire, trust me,
Yeah, you could.
I could help you out a little bit."
I want to go back to this. Go ahead and point in the powerlifting, being too, like thinking you're so physically strong
Mhm.
that you can almost do anything, whether
You feel superhuman.
yeah.
I spent 2 decades that way.
Wow.
I literally ran around the world as the biggest, baddest chick you could come across. And I had that personality to go with it. And the one thing God will
Yeah, you're a
remind you-
badass. You're a full-on badass. Like feel the aura of you. It's interesting because you're fully confident in who you are, but I don't use the word soft in the weak sense. I mean, it comes off
Gentle.
so yeah, like warmer. Than I feel like maybe Jenn 30 years ago,
Oh, she
where
would hate
you
me.
would have 100% not had that
No.
like empathetic side or gentle side to you at all, and you would have been this pure like knife. Now you're like you can take off, like you have
Yeah.
the blade, like you can take it off.
It's
Like,
almost like a cloak or like a cape,
Yes.
kind of. When I need to be her, I am her. Like I'm training a 17-year-old boy to go into college Navy. He wants to play defense. And I train kids on the weekends to make them faster and stronger for their coaches. And this particular kid brought me back to having to be QB on Sunday mornings. And that's an interesting mix, being me, who's all light now, and every once in a
I'm
while.
going back to that.
It is very hard discord. It is not easy.
Wait, it's almost like it reminds me of like Marvel characters,
Kind of.
where you're like, okay, I am Iron Man, but I'm also like Tony Stark on the weekdays, and so you know what I mean, and like
Yes.
the pops or whatever, the woman references. Wow, but it's interesting though. You have to like tap into that.
But you have to be conscious because that personality was me for longer. So it's very easy to walk on that path and forget.
Yes.
And God is always there to go, "Excuse me,
Hey.
if that was for 2 hours, it's time to come back now." So-
Don't get lost, Jen. Hey.
Excuse me, over here. Yeah, so you always have to be reminded.
Okay.
Humility is a completely different animal when you're damn near inhuman and then you almost die. It reminds you of your place very quickly.
Wow. So that you almost dying happened with the appendix thing, but you were still so much immersed in that like powerlifting world.
I don't do that anymore. I
Yeah.
haven't done that for quite some time, but that personality is still
Is it fun?
very much in use with all the training I do, and I still have been training for decades. So training other people, you don't lose that aspect of you, but also using the QB personality, I've learned to bring QB to God and God to QB, because you have to put the two together.
Yeah. How did you mesh that though?
Very hard.
Because
Still
QB's
struggle.
mindset, like that mindset is, oof.
It's like, let's go outside right now, let's go lift the car, I got you.
Yeah, let's go.
And then God's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you
No,
doing
no,
that?
no need, honey.
Yeah,
No
like,
need.
it's okay.
I get it.
There's car jacks, you know.
You can do that, but why do you, yeah.
So it's a constant fight within myself of being, just before you got there, if you really want to know who I am, I texted my husband and I
Yeah.
said, babe, am I dressing like QB or am I dressing like Jen?
Yeah.
He goes, you're funny because if you haven't noticed, you're the same person.
I don't really know the question you're asking.
But he's like, I don't know if you realize this, but they're the same human.
Yeah, they're the same.
But do you see how mentally
Yes.
you
It's
have to
different.
compartmentalize that personality?
When did you surrender to the God having the influence in your life?
2018.
It was-
Easiest day.
yeah.
2019. Because
That
I
was-
remember
that
when
was really a moment for you.
it was, and that wasn't even the worst of the medical. It got to a point, I was in an MRI, University of Radiology, and I'm not claustrophobic, I sleep in a damn
Yeah.
coffin. And I kept feeling almost like an anxiety, which I don't normally have. And it kept bothering me. You know what's the weirdest thing I did in the middle of that cigar tube?
Yes,
Yeah, literally. I don't know why or how. My hands were sweaty, and I have to be.
Yeah, you're super still.
I was like, God, could you help me breathe? Like it was an immediate. I knew who to call for to calm me down.
Yeah.
And I've been in lots of MRIs, and I never had that reaction, and I've never had it since. But it was that moment that I knew I was reaching for the one being,
Yeah.
that one light that I knew could ground me enough. Because I kept getting hit with so much bad news that I'm like, help me.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've been here all along.
Yeah. You might have forgotten, but
Yeah, but that's how I
understand.
feel. I almost feel like you, just like you compartmentalize trauma, you compartmentalize things you don't want to think about.
Mhm.
And it's not that you don't believe in God during that time. You just don't give him
It's
the
just not
attention.
Yeah.
You don't give him the following that you should. And once you remember that he's there all the time,
And
so he kind of works himself out.
that's like it's really powerful. Thank you for sharing that. It's it's to go into those moments sometimes is obviously
It's still hard, it will always be hard. Because I've been through so much medically that it tore apart my life and a lot of my family and friends. So it'll never be easy to talk about that, but I don't see why I can't tell you to help someone tell someone else.
through the lessons like of this in your medical experience, like what you've gone through. What do you wish you like told the younger Jen?
That's me, Simone.
Yeah.
He's still there!
Just to keep following.
Oh my God, tenfold. I would have not, and I know I wouldn't have come up, I would have been a different path than the path I took. Yes, being that badass is one aspect of it, but it needed so much nurturing that I didn't get because I didn't follow.
Mhm. Now, when you're you're surrendering into this whole, I guess that moment really shifted the trajectory of your. I don't like life's too cliche, but I would say the mindset, because I would say your mindset kind of shifts your life
Very
in
much.
a lot of ways. So like once you really leaned into that mindset, what was your life? Like learning more? You were more intrigued with what? Like
I don't think it was learning more because I've read the Bible cover to cover, unfortunately, a lot when you're
Wow.
younger, and then of course
Yeah.
again when you're older. It's not a mindset for me as far as learning. It was more getting back to. Have you ever heard this word like believing God's like corny?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Oh, yeah. For
Think of a woman who's 211 pounds can destroy any human needing God. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it's corny. The superhero is not
Like, why do I need God? Look what I can do. I don't need that.
Yeah.
Boy, I wish I could take that back. I wish I could take that back. It was wrong.
Yeah, but once you saw that the wills of this force God
Yeah.
was so prominent in your life, you couldn't look any other way, and it was you were immersed.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, you tried to look away and it just wouldn't. You couldn't yield life that way.
It's like suppressing what you know for the wrong reasons and then bringing it back to life for the right.
When you first started to get into the holistic, like, thinking, did you come into it? Like, how did you enter this world? I know it was always a part of you, but now you, like, had experiences, like, throughout your, like, you went a large part of your life thinking one way, like the QB mindset, and then you got shocked into this thinking of now, holy
Going back.
crap, like,
Yeah.
going backward, not backwards, but like similar thinking. Like, how did you then immerse yourself even more into?
More for me is reading.
Oh, reading. Cool.
Because you can read and you can pray and you can get that, but not to deter anyone from doing that, but that's not where it ends. And most people think, oh, I just pray, it's over. It's so not.
Oh my God, I just read the Bible book. I'm gonna confirm. I am now the best Catholic ever. Like, the people that go to church
Yes.
on Sunday, and they go
Yes.
sin
Yes.
every other before and after. Like, wait a minute, buddy. Hey, same thing with the God. Hey, I'm over here. Like,
If you ever took someone who's metaphysical, or like my husband who's a pagan,
yeah,
you take certain personalities and you tell them about God, you're gonna get different reactions. But if you tell someone, don't you want to feel better? It's across the board, yes. If you tell someone, don't you want to, help with your anxiety? Do you want to ease your pain from whatever bothers you? Do you want to talk to someone about the trauma that's not someone who will judge you? Being holistic means the world to me, more than anything, more than being QB, because of where it has brought me. I see so many patients a week, and then after that, I cook for people. And then after that, I train people on Sundays.
yeah.
I'm always giving back now. I don't do it more, of course I'm there to help people, but I know that it fills me up to help others.
Yes.
And it's almost like having a cup you want to fill all the time.
Yeah, it's like selfish. I think of
Kind
it.
of.
It's almost.
But in a good way.
You know, that's why I hate to say it, but it's almost like once you unlock this level of giving, self within yourself. I think, like, attunement and groundedness within yourself, and I think it's the constant knowing, to your point, that you're always on this path. It's the once you get out of the mindset like, oh, I'm trying to achieve X and Y, and you get into this lifelong, forever learning. I'm here now. I don't know where the next moments are going to bring me, but I have these frameworks and these, like, references that I can go back to, and then using that to, yield your destination really does. It really takes a different. You take such a different approach to life once you lean into that mindset. I think more than that.
I think people bad enough, or out of ignorance, don't understand. When people with crystal, oh, I met a girl with crystals in her pocket,
Yeah.
and that's already you saying that. You say it in a joking manner. You don't understand that negativity has power. Just like positivity has power, so does negativity.
Yes.
I'm very careful with my verbiage, especially nowadays. More so because someone can take anything you say and turn it on its side into something negative. And you don't realize what you're doing is putting more negative energy into whatever it is your thought is being. So instead of getting your way out, what you're doing is digging your way in. So if you're thinking there's something bad and you completely brush it off, like she said, she has a tiger's eye on, or us with bracelets,
Yes.
or someone with crystals, whatever it is in your metaphysical world you get into, having faith and having hope that, you know what, that gut instinct that women love to call, that's a gift. That is a gift.
Yeah.
And the more you read about that, the more, like, I'm really big into the sky. I love the stars. I love to see the stars. Sometimes I'll just sit there and watch a move, and that is such an overwhelming hug
Yes.
I adore that.
Yeah.
My husband goes, you're so silly, look at the sky. And it's
Yeah.
like, but
Full.
to me, it's
Yeah.
something about it. There's
Yeah.
something about nature, there's something
Yeah.
about the universe in general.
Yeah.
That when you truly look, you know how they say that you look at the universe looks back at you?
Yeah.
It does.
True. When you're open to seeing that.
Perfect.
And you're in like awareness alignment, I think, too.
Yeah.
And like the unlock of the judgment and whatever. Once you like move these, and think of like almost like Jenga, you just like slide out a couple of these like Jenga pieces. You like then see like these holes a little clearer. You still don't get the full picture, but you can still kind of see the light. You're like, oh, like it kind of makes sense. When I first heard like words matter,
Oh,
get
they
the
matter.
get out of here. Your words matter. Okay, mom. Like go back. Like go eat your vegetables. Like the same thing. You're like, all right, lady, relax. I get it. Your words matter. But no, they really like
They matter.
It wasn't until I truly saw it, like the rice experiment, for example. There's this video on YouTube.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, the guy who like
Yep.
uses he goes on this protocol, then he transforms rice for like 30 days or whatever. But you see the moldy rice, and it's the same concept. I didn't visually see that. Cracking my world again, wide open. You heard the phrasing, okay, thoughts matter, but it wasn't until seeing that, then actually saying, holy crap, they actually do alter circumstances. To your point, the negative thoughts, the positive thoughts, they truly, truly do. I mean, manifesting, you're not like the people that are gonna manifest the car right now, it's not gonna happen.
Yes. But that's also not manifestation.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, like, come on, for the people that are like, vacation, I'm like, wait, honey.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, it's not, you're a little off there. Love the intention that you were trying to use these tools, but that's not it. It's, you know what I learned too, and like maybe you can obviously see this, is with like nature's protocols and like the holistic side of life, the sustainability and the longevity is built in, but it takes a little bit. Whereas, like I would say in the supplementation world, or like the quick fix world, the pharma world, the longevity in is not there. The sustainability is not there, but the quick fix is built in. Like you're going to get rid of your migraines right now, but you never figured out what caused the migraine in the first place.
It's Band-Aid.
100%. So I think for the people that want like the quick fixes and then like want to crash and burn in 30 years, I would say pharma, you supplement it, or like even that mindset, like, you know, those.
I just make a face, I'm sorry. But
Yeah,
when you
no.
think of meds and injections and pills, and I just.
Like there's places for certain things,
Certain things.
but I think it's
Yes.
under like context is everything. Like you can't just say X is the protocol or Y is the protocol. Like I think it's so. Everyone's different, but then there's obviously like the fundamental toolkit that you could pull at up to say, okay, you got this, let's use this, let's do this. I mean, I grew up under the impression that sunlight is bad for you, and now I'm learning that it's not. It's really good. It's good for you. Obviously, don't sit in the sun for
Don't be.
10 hours, but don't tell me it's bad for me because it's not, you know?
It's true.
What about like the holistic side now, as you like are really immersed in this world?
Now I have friends around me who support me in this world, and a lot of it I suppressed. You ever, when you're little, you see something or do something, and you're like, oh, and well, it's similar that way. I have come into my own in that world where I'm very nervous still about some of my gifts,
Yeah.
but in the same breath, I welcome them with guidance. The stronger I become in that world, and the stronger I become about the world, I mean, in prayer, in energy, in holistic life, the deeper you go in there. Like you said before we started this, when once you think you know.
The way.
I read a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really start to realize.
It's like you plunge into a lake and then you go down this hole and you see an ocean.
Yeah.
And then you go
That's
down
a really
this,
good way to
you
put
literally
it.
go into the ocean, you go take a swim underwater, and then you go into this other big lake, you go, what the fuck? You're back at like 10 layers deep, and then you're not in touch with reality. Right? And then
Well, if you tell another person, you're definitely gonna sound crazy.
Yes, for sure. I mean, I think that for me, now that I'm more comfortable with myself, that's almost like getting called crazy.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's the signal for me. It's the signal that I'm on to something. Like, okay, if I get like
That's so
15
funny.
people that saying I'm fucking crazy, or like I don't get it,
Yeah.
but I get he's one.
Ooh.